Hello, friends. Today we will talk about the top 10 places of France, one of the most popular tourist destinations in the world, with its historical and cultural heritage, and Europe's tourist paradise. While telling about France, from its unique architectural works to the iconic symbols of the city, enjoy watching these places in 4K resolution. So let's move on to the video. Our first stop is the Eiffel Tower, which is located in Paris, France, and is the country's most tourist-attracting and iconic structure. This tower, one of the symbol buildings of Paris, was the entrance of an international fair held in 1889 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the French Revolution. It was built to be a gate. When it was built, the tower became the tallest building in the world, surpassing the Washington Monument, which was the tallest building of the period, and maintained this title for 40 years, until the Chrysler Building in New York was built. Although the Eiffel Tower was built to be demolished 20 years after its construction, it has managed to stand until today due to the value it added to Paris, physics and meteorology sciences, and the role it played in the distribution of radio signals, and caused millions of tourists to come to Paris every year. Has happened. Our next place is the Louvre Museum. The Louvre Museum, one of the largest and most important art museums in the world, was founded in the Louvre Palace in 1793 during the French Revolution. It is located on the banks of the Seine River, which flows through the city. There is a wide range of collections, ranging from prehistoric times to the 21st century. Some of these are the world's most famous works of art, such as Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa painting, Venus de Milo statue, and Napoleon's crown. Approximately 35,000 historical works of art are exhibited in an area of 72,735 square meters. Millions of tourists visit the museum every year. Another tourist attraction in Paris is the Notre Cathedral, one of the most important buildings in the history of Christianity. The construction of the Notre Dame Cathedral, which is seen by approximately 15 million tourists every year and is considered one of the most important buildings in the history of France and the world, dates back 800 years. The construction of the cathedral, which is considered a unique example of medieval Gothic architecture, was commissioned by King Henry VII in 1163. It was begun during the reign of Louis XIV and completed in 1345. It was built on a small island called Île de la Cité off the banks of the River Seine in Paris. Now we take you to the northwestern coast of France. It has one of the most symbolic images of France, Mont Saint-Michel. It is a magnificent tourist destination with the appearance of a magnificent castle rising face to face with the sea on a thin line, on the shores of a rocky slope surrounded by walls. The strong and durable wall structure of Mont Saint-Michel, which is famous for being the bay with the highest tidal variations in Europe, protects the city from waves, because the difference between low and high tides can reach up to 15 meters in just 6 hours. This time we're going south. Let's talk about the Provence region, famous for its historical cities, lavender fields, and cute towns. The Provence region of France, on the Mediterranean coast, is a touristic region with its delicious wines and famous raids. This region is also famous for its history. It is located north of Marseille, but they share the Mediterranean coast and is located in the southeast of France. There are some towns and cities within this region, among the most famous of which is Cannes, the favorite city of film festivals. It is also located on the side where lavender gardens and vineyards are located and is preferred. And our next stop is the favorite of the world's high society for 300 years, Côte d'Azur. The French Riviera, which fascinates the whole world with its gardens, decorated with tiny tangerine and orange trees, clean streets, beaches, and well-kept historical buildings located on the magnificent Mediterranean coast, is located in the southeast of the country. The most popular cities of the French Riviera are Nice and Saint-Tropez, Monaco and Cannes, and recently Antibes, Aix-les-Villages, Saint-Raphaël, Menton, Saint. It can be said that places such as Paul de Vence and Hyères are also quite popular. Tourists from all over the world flock to this region of southern France every year. We are returning to Paris again. Let's talk about Champs-Élysées Boulevard, known as the most beautiful street in the world. At the very beginning of the boulevard is the Victory Arch, which dates back to 1806 and took 30 years to build. Napoleon, who had his greatest victory in the Battle of Austerlitz, wanted to have this structure built to crown his victory, but he died before it was completed. One end of the boulevard is Arc de Triomphe and the other end is Concorde Square. The roundabout located in Place de la Concorde divides the square into two parts by the Champs-Élysées. The lower part towards Concorde Square is the Gardens. It is surrounded by museums, theaters, and several restaurants. The upper part, towards the Arc de Triomphe, is traditionally the location of luxury shops and hotels, restaurants and sidewalk cafes, theaters, banks, and offices. There are also the most stylish boutiques, gastronomic restaurants, iconic bars, luxury shops and workplaces, restaurants, cafes, theaters, and museums on this long road. We are returning to Paris again. Let's talk about Champs-Élysées Boulevard, known as the most beautiful street in the world. One end of the boulevard is Arc de Triomphe, and the other end is Concorde Square. The roundabout located in Place de la Concorde divides the square into two parts by the Champs-Élysées. The lower part towards Concorde Square is the Gardens. It is surrounded by museums, theaters, and several restaurants. The upper part, towards the Arc de Triomphe, is traditionally the location of luxury shops and hotels, restaurants and sidewalk cafes, theaters, banks, and offices. There are also the most stylish boutiques, gastronomic restaurants, iconic bars, luxury shops and workplaces, restaurants, cafes, theaters, and museums on this long road. Our next stop is the land of castles, Loire Valley. The Loire Valley is a 280-kilometer-long valley located in the heart of France, southwest of Paris, centered on the Loire River. The Loire Valley, which is home to many magnificent castles, large and small, built by the kings and feudal lords of France between the Middle Ages and the Renaissance, is one of the most popular tourist destinations in the world, with its medieval castles, vineyards, charming villages, and fairy tale atmosphere. This magnificent valley, called the Garden of France, is famous for its magnificent castles such as Chambord, Chenonceau, and Chambord, which are included in the UNESCO World Heritage List. These castles are not only architectural marvels, but also symbols of French history and culture. Our last stop is Carcassonne Castle. Carcassonne is a medieval town that we can visit in southern France, which has survived to the present day, defying time. The history of Carcassonne, the magical dream of the Middle Ages, dates back to BC. It dates back to the 6th century. This place, where you will feel the Middle Ages, allows you to feel the history closely. There are 52 towers inside the castle, which covers an area of 3 kilometers. This castle, which keeps the medieval period alive today, was restored in the 20th century by architect Eugène Viollet-le-Duc. Carcassonne Castle, one of the important structures in world history, was included in the UNESCO World Heritage List in 1997. These were the 10 most visited places in France. If you liked the video, we would be happy if you liked the video. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to be informed about the next videos.